Hello, and welcome back to another episode, another video. I'm still in my podcast vibes, but welcome to another video. I'm so excited that you're here, and let's get right into it. I want to talk about friendships and discerning friendships, and friendships to me have always been so much more complicated than relationships. Like romantic relationships to me feel so clear and everything feels, like I know, I know, but with friendships, like it feels so vague, and navigating friendships throughout like my adulthood has felt quite challenging. And so when I realized what I'm going to talk about now, I felt so much clarity around friendships and noticing what friends are good for you and are supportive and feel good, and when it may not feel good. It's very important to feel safe in your friendships, and the way that you can often discern whether you feel safe is by looking at your, or like not looking, like feeling into your nervous system, right? Your nervous system responds so differently in different social settings, around different people. You may notice that around some people you feel like very jittery and nervous, and around some people you can feel completely relaxed and safe to be yourself. And this already is such a big indicator of whether that person is someone that you feel comfortable with on a physical level. What I really noticed about this, like the connection between the nervous system and the people you're around, is that around some people, my voice would get extremely high, like really high pitched. And I noticed that I started speaking from my throat. So it was a really, like really nervous, like high pitched tone in my voice. And I just started reflecting on that. I was like, oh, I'd noticed that in the moment because I was speaking to a friend and was like noticing, whoa, my voice is really high. And then when I reflected back on that experience, I thought, oh, does my voice change with other people or other friends? And like, what does that feel like? How do I notice that? And I started just reflecting on that. And that's when I made the link between understanding your voice and your physical response to the people you're around and your friends, and how safe you feel in your body, like how safe your body feels, how safe you feel to be authentically yourself and to express yourself fully. So to me, I noticed this with the location of my voice, right? So I first noticed the tone, like very high pitched, and then I noticed, okay, where is it coming from? Like, is my voice coming from my stomach, like my belly area, my womb space, or is it coming from my throat? Like this really tight, high pitched, like throat voice, if that makes sense. And I started realizing that just like the way that you speak around people, around your friends, can indicate how safe you feel with that person. Just a quick question to consider or reflect on for a moment is, are there any friends of yours around whom you feel like your voice changes and you become jittery and nervous, and your body feels just like your body doesn't feel at ease? And that often reflects itself through, high voice, movement. I just want to talk about a little bit more in depth about the impact of your friendships on your nervous system, right? So, being around certain people can cause a dysregulation in your nervous system, making you nervous, making you jittery, making your voice high pitched, putting on your stress levels. And it also causes you to put on these protective layers that you do as a mechanism when you feel unsafe, right? When you feel unsafe to be yourself, you put on these layers to protect yourself. And this creates a sense of disconnection between who you really are and who you are pretending to be, or the way that you're expressing yourself. And that's a disconnect within yourself that will inevitably trickle out into your external reality, right? Into your friends. Your friendships become inauthentic and they don't feel charging and energizing anymore. So, and also consider whether there are friends where you do feel relaxed, where you do feel safe and grounded, and maybe look at where there is a disconnect with the first one and the second one. So, some questions to reflect on yourself and your own expression of authenticity in friendships, right? So, do you feel safe to express your authentic self around this person, around this friend? And if the answer is no, is this because you have this own internalized belief that it's not safe to be your full self, to be your authentic self? And it's where you can take some responsibility in practicing being your authentic self? Or is it because the other person has judged you or belittled you in the past when you were expressing your authentic self? When you were fully embodying who you truly are? And if that's met with judgment or with criticism, you're not going to feel safe to do it again around that person. So also asking yourself, okay, is it a general thing? Like, do I generally not feel safe to fully be myself, or is it just around this person where I notice that I'm holding some parts of myself back? And then taking that into consideration, asking, you know, is this good for me? Is this healthy for me? Another thing that you can reflect on is, are you slipping into an older version of yourself? So this one is what I really noticed. Like, I had a certain lifestyle and a certain type of people around me when, like, a few years ago. And then when I and then when I started shifting, I noticed that the people that I used to be around, that used to be with that older version of myself, they didn't feel aligned for me anymore. And, the lifestyle I had back then, just partying a lot or drinking a lot or smoking a lot, that just didn't feel aligned for me anymore when they were so and rooted in that lifestyle. And you can respect yourself and where you are in your journey and your own tendency to maybe slip back into an older version of yourself because of your environment, and still respect where someone is at in their journey, and still respect someone else and their lifestyle, but also respect yourself and choose what is best for you. The environment that you are around, the people that you have around you are so important. I feel like the people around you can inspire you, they can speak life into you, they can feel nurturing and uplifting, or they can feel the complete opposite, right? Draining or demotivating, or kind of pulling you back into these older tendencies that you want to get out of. So really asking yourself, okay, is this friendship supportive of who I am now and who I am becoming? Or is this friendship actually supportive of who I was before, who I don't want to embody anymore? And respecting every person involved, every journey involved in the process that's possible. And another thing that kind of relates back to feeling free to expressing your authenticity is, are you pretending to be someone else out of fear of judgment or rejection? So are you putting on certain behaviors or acting in a certain way because you're scared that if you would be your natural self, you would be rejected or judged? So these are just some questions to reflect on, and I just want to highlight the importance of being brutally honest here with yourself about how safe you feel in your friendships. Because it's difficult. I know that. I know it's so difficult, because especially with the people that you love, the friends that you love, you can love someone and they can still not be supportive of you or for you or help you in a certain way. You can love someone and respect their journey, but they may still not be a good fit for who you are right now or who you are becoming right now. And that's okay. And that's why it's so important to be so, so, so honest with yourself here, because you deserve to feel safe to be authentically you. You deserve to be around people that make you feel supported, that make you feel uplifted and loved and cherished, and people that inspire you. So it's also really important to ask yourself, is this friendship still fulfilling and supportive? And another thing, I'm smiling because it's one where you got to be really honest. um, do I deserve anything less than full acceptance? And the answer is no, you don't. You deserve full acceptance and even more than that. And really rooting that truth into your body will allow you to see where you're not being fully accepted or where you're not feeling fully accepted. And this doesn't mean like all these things, all the things I'm talking about, if there is something that feels off, it doesn't mean you have to, cut that person off and end the friendship. It just means that it's a window, an invitation for you to reflect a little bit deeper on how you are showing up in the friendship, and maybe where you can take some responsibility in showing up inauthentically, and then changing that and being okay with the outcome, being okay with what happens, because you deserve to be your full, unique, authentic self. And if that leads to someone rejecting you or someone judging you, then that someone is not for you. And that someone is not going to be supportive in your journey. And then it's okay to let that go and choose yourself there. So I just also want to emphasize that friendships should feel like a sanctuary where you can fully express yourself freely and just be your authentic self. And I just wanted to share some tips on how to cultivate friendship that provides safety and support. And I feel like it's just an ongoing thing of being present with each other, offering support to one another, offering love and like little love notes. I love, like, one of my friends, just earlier today, she sent me a little love note, like, just want to tell you that I love you. And that just made my heart feel so warm, and it made me feel so happy. And I'm just so grateful to have those type of friends in my life, right? That you just let them know randomly how much you appreciate them. I've noticed, like, once I cultivated and put more energy into cultivating nourishing friendships, I'm also the one, messaging my friends, telling them I appreciate them and love them. And really, it's a constant pouring into each other's cup and never running out, never running empty. Um, and I also encourage you to reflect on your own relationships and consider the qualities that make you feel safe, right? What do you desire in a friendship, and what do you value in a friendship? Because this is going to be different for everybody. And it's so important here to hone into your own needs and your own desires and get clear on what you want to cultivate so you can pour into that. And it's maybe different than my way of seeing it. So by all means, like, really figure out what you want, what feels true for you, what feels good for you. Like, I'm just illustrating some points that has felt really good for me and that I just want to share with you. So, yeah, so the key points from today that I've talked about: really be radically honest with where you don't feel safe in your friendships and how that expresses itself. And start getting curious about where it's coming from, whether it's your own responsibility or whether it's maybe the other person not making you feel safe. And grounding that thought of, I am worthy of full acceptance into your whole body, into your whole being, right? Just saying, like, say with me, I am worthy of full acceptance. Just really affirming this to yourself. And you are also worthy of relationships that reflect that. But you are not going to be able to receive your level of worthiness reflected back to you when you're not embodying it, right? So it's really important to start embodying that you're worthy of acceptance, because you are. And yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments about what I've shared here today, about your own friendships, if you notice this. And also take a moment to journal right now about, how you feel, some reflections that came up for you, or maybe some thoughts. And yeah, thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next one.